Hello to everyone who lives and breathes football in a different way. If you're one of those who love behind-the-scenes drama, fun club rivalries and big signings, hold on tight because today's video is exactly what you've been waiting for, unmissable. We've picked out the 3 biggest Wrexham news stories of the day, and the last one, the one in the thumbnail and title, is absolutely explosive. A massive signing has arrived, with an emotional statement and everything. But look, before that, there are 2 stories you need to understand first, because it's all part of this special moment Wrexham is experiencing. So stick with me until the end, because this video is packed with twists, fresh rivalries, and a major announcement that's going to shake the whole fanbase. Ready? Let's go! News 1. Tom Brady and the unlikely rivalry between Wrexham and Birmingham City. Picture this, 2 English clubs, both with tradition and totally different histories, who have suddenly become the stars of a Hollywood-style saga. On one side, Wrexham AFC, who spent decades in the lower tiers of English football until being bought by Reynolds and McElhenney, 2 internationally famous actors. On the other, Birmingham City, a club with long-standing heritage, who fully embraced the American wave by bringing on board Tom Brady, simply the greatest American football player of all time, as one of their shareholders and the face of their new project. What started as a coincidence has turned into a rivalry, both on and off the pitch. Last season, both clubs secured promotion to the Championship, England's second tier, and now they're competing for attention, media coverage, signings, and even fan support. Recently, Tom Brady gave a cheeky, light-hearted interview where he suggested that Wrexham might be becoming Birmingham's new biggest rival, perhaps even more than Aston Villa. According to Brady, of course Aston Villa will always be the historic rival. But what Wrexham is doing is something new, something different. Maybe we're seeing the birth of a brand new rivalry. All said in good fun, but with that playful tone that fuels banter between fans and adds fire to the feud. Birmingham CEO also took his chance to comment, praising Wrexham's model and highlighting how brilliantly they've used their owner celebrity to bring in investments, new fans, and global spotlight. They've turned a small club into a global brand, he said. Behind the scenes, this American rivalry is getting serious. Both clubs recently went after the same young striker, have exchanged jabs on social media, and the fans are already deep into the spirit of it all, memes, jokes, and classic English football banter. But this goes beyond a simple sporting clash. It's the clash of 2 management styles, tradition versus innovation, classic models versus modern entertainment. On one side, Tom Brady with his strategic, calculated approach. On the other, Reynolds and McElhenney bringing their humor and cinematic vision of football to life. The truth is, football will never be the same again for these 2 clubs, and the story between Birmingham City and Wrexham still has many dramatic chapters to come, both on the pitch and far beyond it. And the best part? It all started with a simple "let's buy a club," and turned into a global spectacle that now even includes a rivalry. Stay tuned, because this clash is only just getting started. News 2. Jake Bickerstaff is leaving, and reuniting with McElhenney's favourite. A quiet move, but one full of meaning behind the scenes at Wrexham. Striker Jake Bickerstaff, a product of the club's academy and a regular presence in recent squads, is heading out once again. The 22-year-old will join Cheltenham Town on loan, a club that also competes in League One this season. At first glance, it might seem like just another routine loan for a player still trying to establish himself at the professional level. But the story gets a little more interesting when you remember a detail that more attentive fans will definitely notice. Luke Young, former Wrexham captain and a player cherished by fans, and most notably by co-owner McElhenney, is also at Cheltenham. Luke Young was recently released by Wrexham after years of loyal service, and Rob publicly referred to him as one of my favourite players. The emotional connection to Young is clear, and now Jake Bickerstaff will have the opportunity to reunite with that familiar figure in a new environment, which could be hugely positive for his development both on and off the pitch. Despite his potential and commitment, Bickerstaff never quite managed to secure a regular starting spot at Wrexham. In the rare chances he had, he showed flashes of talent but struggled to break through due to the fierce competition in attack, filled with experienced, established names. His last loan spell, at Nantwich Town, gave him some rhythm and experience, but now he faces a bigger challenge in League One, at a more structured club and a higher level of competition. This move also highlights a logistical issue Wrexham urgently needs to address. The club currently has more players in the squad than it can officially register for the season. With the registration limit exceeded, the board must loan out or sell players to balance the numbers and create space, especially for the newly signed reinforcements and those returning from injury. In fact, more departures are expected in the coming days before the transfer window closes. The coaching staff is evaluating each case, and the decision to loan Bickerstaff appears to be driven not just by numbers, but also by the development opportunity he'll have at Cheltenham. For Jake himself, this could be the chance he's been waiting for. Being at a club that believes in young players and has someone like Luke Young, who can act as a mentor and a role model, could mark a fresh start and a turning point in his career. And if he manages to stand out, it wouldn't be a surprise to see him back at Wrexham soon, with more confidence, more game time, and perhaps a more prominent role. Meanwhile, fans will watch with interest and affection as this new chapter unfolds for a player who, despite his youth, already represents part of the identity Wrexham has built in recent years. Best of luck, Jake. News 3, the main story of the day: Conor Coady is the new sheriff in town. Now this is it, the bombshell of the day. And no exaggeration, Wrexham have just announced one of the most impactful signings of the season so far: the arrival of Conor Coady, an experienced centre-back with a solid Premier League career, who joins to take charge of the defence as an undisputed starter. Coady, 31, has signed a 2-year deal with an option for a third and arrives at the club with huge credibility. We're not talking about just any player. He has nearly 200 appearances across the top divisions of English football, with standout spells at Wolverhampton, Everton, and Leicester City. At Wolves, he even captained the team for several seasons and is widely respected for his leadership, positioning, and ability to organise the backline. In his very first interview as a Wrexham player, Coady made it clear he didn't come just for a contract. He spoke from the heart, saying he was on cloud 9 to have signed with the club, that has been following Wrexham's meteoric rise in recent years, and that is incredibly motivated to get out on the pitch as soon as possible. He also said he was impressed by Wrexham's project and the professionalism behind the club's structure, something that stood out to him from the very first talks. And here's the key thing: he hasn't come to just fill a spot in the squad. The internal expectation is that Coady will become the new backbone of the defence, taking on a central role not only on the pitch but in the dressing room too. Manager Phil Parkinson was full of praise for the new signing, saying that this type of acquisition shows the club is aiming high this season. According to him, Coady is exactly the kind of player Wrexham needed to tackle the challenges of the Championship, an extremely physical and competitive league where experience and defensive consistency are crucial. Coady is also expected to take on a mentoring role with the younger defenders, such as Max Cluth and Tom Conor, helping them grow and contributing to the development of the squad as a whole. Having someone who has played in major stadiums, faced the best strikers in England, and lived the daily grind of the Premier League can make a massive difference in tough away matches or high-pressure moments in the table. And here's a heads up: this might not be Wrexham's last big signing this transfer window. Behind the scenes, the club is still active in the market and has some high-profile names on the radar, such as Nathan Broadhead, currently at Ipswich, and striker Kiefer Moore, who recently played for Bournemouth and the Welsh national team. If even one of those names comes in, Wrexham's squad will become even stronger and more well-rounded. For the fans, it's a time of total excitement. Seeing a player like Conor Coady, with so much experience and respect at the top level of English football, wearing the Wrexham shirt is yet more proof that this project is serious and ambitious. It's no longer just about marketing or Hollywood fame behind the ownership. Now it's real football, with real signings, and a clear goal of fighting for promotion to the Premier League in the coming years. With Coady leading the defence, the dream of reaching the top tier feels more real than ever. And it could start becoming a reality from the very first matches of the season. What a signing, what a moment, and what a sense of anticipation. So, did you enjoy today's 3 big stories? We kicked off with club banter, moved on to squad changes, and finished with a signing that could change everything for Wrexham. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think of Coady's arrival? Will he fix the defence? Will he become a club legend? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm always keeping an eye out. Oh, and if you're into this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave that all-important like. This is the place for those who live and breathe football, with passion, solid information, and that dose of entertainment we all love. Thanks for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and see you next time.